Shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel. Yahawah, Atha. This is Officer Hamar
and Captain Zakar
of LSE Augusta, Georgia, the Light of Zion, under Priest Kahan and Minister Solomon of the Light of Zion. So today, it's going to be another lesson. This is when it's on checking your spirit, making sure you're walking with the right spirit, right? Because a lot of people, they don't know this, but your spirit is very important, right? A lot of people cannot see their spirit, so they don't believe it, or they don't work on their spirit because they can't see it. Walking in a nice spirit, for example, the fruits of the spirits, right? Or walking in the spirit where is righteous is very important, right? Instead of the flesh, right? A lot of people like to walk in the flesh, cars, money, etc., etc. But your spirit is actually what defines you, right? It's not the flesh. Right, that's why the Most High said to not judge by appearance, right? Because it's the spirit that matters.
That's right.
Right. So, with that being said, we're gonna hop straight into it. Start with Colossians 3:17.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Atha one Yahawashi, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him.
Right. So, whatever you do in word or deed, we'll do all this in the name of Hamashiach Yahawashi. Right, we talk about the scriptures. We always have to mention Hamashiach Yahawashi, and that's who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ today. Right, so his name is Hamashiach Yahawashi, his true name. Right, so everything we're doing in word or deed, we do it in his name, giving thanks to the Most High through him. Right, because he is the door to the Most High.
That's right.
Right, now let me get Luke 2:40. Luke 2:40. But speaking of Yahawashi, now the spirit he had was very powerful. Very powerful. Right? Yahawashi walked in the spirit. Right? Let's go ahead and read about it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 40. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom.
Right. So that child is talking about Yahawashi. Right? He was strong. He was waxed strong. Right? He grew in the spirit. He had a lot of wisdom. Right? Read.
And the grace of the Most High was upon him.
Right. So the Most High was dealing with him. Right. The Most High was in him. Right.
Verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
Right.
And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
Right. So, it was around the Passover time. Right. They was keeping the Passover. Read.
And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Yahawashi tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it.
Right. So Yahawashi was left back in Jerusalem. Right. When Passover is over, everybody's going home now. But Yahawashi was left back in Jerusalem. Right.
But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey.
Right. So when they were on their journey, they thinking he's with the crowd. Right. He's with the people. Right.
And they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintance. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem seeking him.
Right. So now they notice, like, dang, he's not here. Where's Yahawashi at? Right. Where's Yahawashi? Remember, he's a child. Right. Where's Yahawashi at? We left him behind in Jerusalem. So what they went back to Jerusalem seeking for him, looking for him. Right.
Verse 46. And it came to pass. That after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions.
Right. So they found him in the temple. Right. The doctors asking him questions. People asking him questions. Right. He had a lot of wisdom. Right. A lot of wisdom. Right. They asking him questions. Remember, he was a child. Right. Well, keep reading though.
47. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers.
Right. So they were shocked. They like, dang, I ain't never heard. They probably never heard that before. Right. The answers he was giving was different.
That's right.
Right. It was powerful, and they were shocked. Right. Again, he's just a child.
Only 12 years old.
Only 12 years old. Right. He had that spirit in him. That's what the spirit, walking with a good spirit, that's what it do to you. Right. When it gives you wisdom, that knowledge and understanding, and you're able to answer any question. Right. Because you're wise. You understand what's going on. Right. You want to hear something from a wise man. You don't want to hear it from a fool.
That's right.
But
verse 48. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou, son, why hast thou thus dealt with us?
Right. So again, they were amazed. Right. They were shocked at his answers. Right. So next thing you know, the mother came like, dang, why you did this to us? Like, why you doing this to us? Right. Okay.
Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing.
Right. We've been looking for you. I mean, they was worried. Right.
Worried, crying, wondering where he was at.
Right.
Verse 49. And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business?
Right. So like, how can you looking for me? Don't you know I'm about my father's business? Right now, y'all remember you bringing that out a while back. And you started laughing at this because this is funny actually.
It's funny.
Right, but it'll go into a whole different topic. But keep reading.
Verse 15. And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them.
Right, so everybody's confused, like, what? What? Right, because you got to remember, right, we have the Heavenly Father and you got Joseph.
That's right.
Right? So they was shocked. They was confused.
Like, Joseph, father's business.
Right, at the house. You wasn't
even with us. But they're not understanding that he's literally talking about the Heavenly Father.
All
right, so let's read that again with context and understanding of verse 49. And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business, meaning the Heavenly Father? Verse 50. And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them.
Right. So everybody was confused. Like,
That's
what is he talking about? Joseph? What is he talking about? Right. But the whole point of me actually bringing this out is to show you, like, him speaking in the temple, showing you how wise he was and how strong his spirit was. Right. Look, man, you answering people's questions and they amazed about it. It must be something special. It must be different. Right. Because you hear a lot of people, like, for example, you could go up to, I don't know, you could go up to a brother or a powerful brother, a random powerful brother, start asking them questions. You'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. But with Yahawashi, it was different. It was like, what?
They were amazed and astonished that a
12-year-old child doing this.
Knew so much and had so much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I want to jump down to verse 52 real fast. And it said, And Yahawashi increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with the Most High and man.
Right. So he was starting to get favored. Right. They started listening to him. Right. Because the things that came out of his mouth, trust me, it made sense.
That's right.
Right. The word of Yahawashi is the word of the Most High.
That's right.
So the things that come out of Yahawashi's mouth was powerful. Words could be very powerful. Right. Words could be very powerful. Words could also tear you down in the spirit.
That's right.
Right. So words mean a lot when it comes down to the word of the Most High.
That's right.
Right. You going to add? Because you put it.
I mean, when you look at that, him increasing in wisdom and in stature, that just shows that the Most High can strengthen you if you really seek him out diligently. You seek out the Most High diligently, you change your ways, even your diet, adhere to the dietary laws. All these things in these scriptures are life unto us. When you pray unto the Most High for more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and you get favor in the sight of all these other nations and in the sight of your people, the Most High is establishing you. Why? Because you're putting in the work behind closed doors for him.
Right.
And if you love yourself, guess what? You're going to love your brother and sister, according to the scriptures. Right, so you got to work on yourself. That's why he's talking about, building yourself up in the spirit and how important it is to be built up in the spirit. Because when the Most High is dealing with you, your spirit, that light that shines within you, you're going to shine that light towards your other brothers and sisters out there. Go ahead.
Let me get Romans 8:1. Right. And this is why they say, this is why I say you need to be like Yahawashi. Walk through the spirit like Yahawashi did.
That's right.
This is why our spirit, we have to try and be like Yahawashi. This is why we always bring out Colossians 3:17. Right? Go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahawashi.
Right. If you walk in the way of Hamashiach Yahawashi, following his footsteps, only good things going to happen to you. Right? The Most High will bless you just like he did Yahawashi. That's right. That was the whole point of Yahawashi coming back down to the earth. Right? Read.
Who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit.
After the what?
After the spirit.
Yahawashi didn't walk after the flesh. He walked after the spirit.
Bring that out.
Right? He ain't see no big booty girls around in the streets and like, dang, and start trying to get with them. That's not what he did.
Hockey funny.
Right? He walked by the Spirit. Right? Marie?
Con. Verse 2. For the law of the Spirit of life and Hamashiach Yahawashi hath made me free from the law of sin and death.
Of what?
Of sin and death.
Right. So, if you walk in the way the Hamashiach Yahawashi did, with the Spirit he did, right, it's going to keep you away from sin. It's going to keep you away from death.
Bring it out.
Right? It's going to keep you away from these things. Read.
Con. Verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, the Most High sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh.
Right. So, like I said, the goal is to try and be like Yahawashi. Stay away from these things. Right. That's why he was sent down here.
And he overcame those fleshly thoughts and desires.
Right.
That's what it's showing us, that we have a way. We look at him and we see that example. You should be even more motivated because you see that somebody was able to do it.
12 years old doing this.
12 years old, showing the doctors and those who are of high stature that they didn't know everything. Right? And he's only 12 years old. They're asking questions. He's asking questions. And he's giving them answers that they never heard before. Right? Because you got to remember, those words are from the Most High.
Right.
He's that prophet like unto Moses. So when you grow in the Spirit and you have that Spirit and you can't stop talking, and the Most High, he's really dealing with you, that's a powerful thing. And brothers and sisters always watch that. Right? But it's like, go ahead.
Right. Con, you can keep reading.
Con. Verse 4. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit.
After what?
After the Spirit.
Right. So for a day that are after the flesh, right, we walk after the flesh, like I said, it leads to sin.
Exactly.
That's what it leads to. And sin leads to what? Death.
Bring it out.
Right? Because, I'm sorry, reread that again.
Con. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 4. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us.
Right. So that righteousness, the law is righteous.
That's
right. The law is good. Right. It will be fulfilled in us.
Who walk not after the flesh.
Right. So for those walking not after the flesh,
but after the Spirit.
But what?
After the Spirit.
But those walking after the Spirit.
That's right.
Now, what else are examples of some fleshly things? Like, for example, people, money, cars, right? Having girls, or having a whole bunch of men, or just drugs and all that stuff.
Bring it out.
Those are all fleshly things. Right? Think about it. Somebody could have, let's say you see a sister, right? They could look good all they want. They could have the nicest body, but it could have an ugly spirit. And that's something you can't see.
Bring it out.
Right? That's something you can't see. That's going to set you up for failure. Right? Just because you went off looks. Like I said, this is why the scripture says to not judge by appearance. You're not supposed to be judging by appearance. Right? It says to not judge by appearance, right? But read.
I got a point on that as well. Using the same example. Right? Because when you walk in the flesh is going to cause you to stumble. And it wants you to go away from the Spirit. The spiritual things are what? Are life. Right? The ways of life. I'll give you an example. If you have a desire in your heart, the Most High said He'll give you those desires as long as you're doing what? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and thinking on Him. And your desires won't be anything worldly, will it?
Right.
Because if you're thinking in the spiritual aspect, you'll be thinking about all these things that adhere to the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Building up a family, having enough that is sufficient for you to be able to sustain your family. Building up a congregation or helping your brother and sister. You won't be thinking about worldly things. And like you said, you can even see a sister who looks really nice, right? Quote unquote, a 10 in the world's eyes. But guess what? Through the Spirit, you'll see she's not right. What's not right about her? Her spirit. Things that a carnal person would say, man, she is bad. That's the one right there.
Right.
But a spiritual person would say, nah, she's not it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really look through the Spirit, because the Spirit is always life. It always breathes life. While the flesh does what? It always breathes death. Right?
The problem with these people today, right, is if they can't see it, they don't care about it.
Exactly.
Right. And you cannot see the Spirit. Right. You cannot see wisdom. You cannot see knowledge. You can't see understanding. Right. You can't see the fruits of the spirits. So what they do, they brush it off. Right. To things they want things they can see, the fleshly things that they can see.
All the physical stuff.
Right. But that's not how we're supposed to be moving. We're supposed to be walking through the Spirit. Instead of praying for money, cars, houses, and etc., you praying for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right.
One big point on that. Because with you increasing your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from the Most High, all the things, like I said, your heart's desires, the Most High will bless you with those things.
Right.
Right? Because, man, I'll give you a perfect example. Man should not be, or the woman was created for the man, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? All the things that you may need in life, the Most High is going to establish you with those things, right? Giving you a wife, giving you a good place to live, a nice neighborhood, everything will be tawab as long as you do what? Trust in the Most High Yahawah. If you don't trust in the Most High and fear Him, you're going to be in bad case. Now, always bring that out, because the Most High is the one who controls everything. If you're not going to the Most High first, especially as the heads of a household, you are doomed for destruction. And that's why we always bring out these classes concerning the spirit. All right, but it's like, go ahead.
Well, Khan, you could keep reading.
Khan, what I live off? Verse 5?
I think it was 4.
Khan, verse 5. For that are after the flesh, do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Right, like I said, things of the spirit, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, etc.
That's right.
Things you cannot see. Right, compared to the flesh. Right, you look at celebrities today; they flesh like they dressed in flesh.
That's all it is.
Right, they dress in flesh. That's what they like. Right, they like cars. They like the money. Look, they be the rappers, right? They be like, man, I'm trying to make it out. Right, then they become a rapper and do the same thing they always been doing since before they even became a rapper.
So bring it out.
That makes no sense.
I mean, that's the defeatist mindset right there.
Defeated mindset.
And they don't even realize how blind they are to their antics and to how they really are. Because how are you gonna say you want to get out the mud and you don't want to live that lifestyle anymore? But as soon as you get all these riches, the wealth, the fame, right, all the things that you quote unquote desired and wanted so much, you're still living the same exact way and not even helping anybody who was just like you. See how destructive that is? And this is why we need the Bible. This is why we need the law, statutes, and commandments to literally uplift us. This is why we need to live through the spirit.
Right.
Because living through the flesh, it will not get us anywhere. We won't be, we won't want that unity with our brothers and sisters if you live through the flesh.
Right.
You won't want that.
You see a lot of smoke in the flesh.
Exactly.
Right. Look at, for example, blood versus Crip. Right. Think about it, right? Like I said, you're a child. You live in the hood. Right. You're a child and you living in the hood. You struggling. Right. You're like, damn, I just want to make it out of here. Right. It's dangerous for you. Then you become a rapper and you still can't stay out of jail.
Bring it out.
You have the money, right? You have the fame, you have the cars, you have everything you want in the flesh, right? But for some reason, you still can't stay out of jail.
Bring it out.
And another thing, right? How is it that celebrities, how they have all these things, are never happy?
Bring that out as well.
They are never happy. They could have all the money and everything they want, right? But they still not happy.
So
because their spirit is not right.
Exactly.
That's what it is. You need to get your spirit right. Right? Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, you hit it on the nail, literally. They always feel that void within them. It's because the Most High is not present with them.
Right.
They don't have the Heavenly Father as guidance. They have all the things of this world, and they realize that that's not enough. There's something that they're missing, and they can't put their finger on it. They can't put their finger on it.
They really can't.
The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we have, and the spirit that we have, that righteous spirit to actually do the will of the Heavenly Father, to seek after righteousness, to thirst after righteousness, that's a gift, man. Right. And we cannot take that for advantage. You got to really think about that. The Most High giving you that type of mindset, man, that's the kingdom right there, man. The love that we have for the nation of Israel, our own people, seeing how you used to be in the world, not even caring about them, that shows that the Most High is within you. That's powerful, and we got to really realize that. Right. It's like, go ahead.
Right. Look at this right here, right?
Khan, what she just said, Khan.
Yeah, she said that's the price you pay when you sell your soul for fame. That's why most of them kill themselves or are always in trouble in the media.
Get out.
This is true. Right? That's the price you pay, because you cannot blend these two together. Right? The fleshly things and the spiritual things. You cannot blend them together. Right? They don't go together. It's like the light and the dark. They don't go together.
That's right.
Right? You cannot mix them together. Right? I've seen that. But you cannot mix these two together.
That's right. Look at the next one she said.
Right. The Most High keeps us saying He is a light in our life. Without Him, we are truly dark and lost.
That's right.
That's right. It's not about the fame. It's not about the money. It's not about how much Instagram followers you have, how cool you look. You know, it's about what the Most High think of you.
That's right.
Well, Khan, you could keep reading.
I believe it's verse 6. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death.
Is what?
Is death.
Is what?
Is death.
Is death. Right? That's what that carnal mind leads you to, death. Right? That's that. How you think a lot of our people dying that's in the hood actually?
Bring it up.
Right? Of the drugs they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
or they end up getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or it's always something. Right? It's always something. And I'm never surprised, honestly.
Bring it up.
Right? Because we know that with that carnal mindset, it's gonna lead you to death.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But keep reading.
So, like a part of being carnally minded is putting things over the Most High.
Right.
A spiritually minded person will not put anything over the Most High Yahawah.
Calm.
Because they got that wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That fear is within them. And that's what we've been talking about for so long. You have to have that fear within you.
Right.
Because with that fear, you get wisdom. And with that wisdom, you obtain your life. You keep your life. And you preserve your life. Because the Most High is watching you and he sees what you've been doing for him.
That's right.
Right. But verse 7. Also like to finishing off verse 6. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Is what?
Life and peace.
That's when you can get life and peace. Being spiritual minded.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You need to take care of your spirit. That's what you need to do.
That's
and
right.
the only way is by keeping the commandments. Because it says it in Romans 7 and 14. That
so.
Commandments, Romans 7 and 12 or 14. It's one of either or. Let me see. Romans 7 and 14, that the law is spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That the law is spiritual.
That's right.
You know, that's how you take care of your spirit. Right? But read.
Verse 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High.
Is what?
It's enmity against the Most High.
Carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. Read.
Mm-hmm. And it says, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be.
Right, because you cannot mix them.
Exactly.
Right? You cannot mix that carnal mindset, you know, with the law of the Most High. It won't go together.
Bring it out.
Right? It would not go together. But you could keep reading.
Verse 8. I love this one. Verse 8. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 8. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High.
They what?
Cannot please the Most High.
You cannot please the Most High.
Cannot.
You think all the money you have is going to please the Most High? Or how pretty you look? Or how handsome you look is going to please the Most High?
Bring it out.
That's not going to please the Most High. Right? You doing the will of the Most High and obeying him and knowing that he is the Most High. Not you, but he is the Most High. You know, that's how you please him. Right? You know, you keeping the commandments, you walking in his ways, the faith in the Most High, you do all this, right? Walking like Yahawashi.
Bring it out.
Right? Like I said, Yahawashi was 12 with a strong spirit. Right? People asking him questions, and he's 12 years old, a 12-year-old being asked questions.
Bring it out.
Just imagine that today. You asking a 12-year-old questions. And the Most High was dwelling with Yahawashi heavily.
Bring it out.
Heavily. Right? And this is what you need. You need the Most High dealing with you. Right? But read.
Verse 9. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit.
Of what?
But in the spirit.
Right. Not in the flesh, but in the spirit. Read.
If so, be that the spirit of the Most High dwell in you.
Right. So the spirit of the Most High dwells in us. Right. Read.
Now, if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his.
Right. If you don't have that spirit that Hamashiach Yahawashi had, right, that he had, then you are none of his. Right. You won't please the Most High.
That's right.
In any way. Right. Let me get that in 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. Right. Where it talks about Yahawashi dwelling in us.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. For the Most High hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind.
Right. Yeah, that's wrong. The Most High did not give you the spirit of fear. Right. You shouldn't a coward spirit. You shouldn't be a coward. Right. You're supposed to be bold with the Most High, right? What type of spirit did he give us again?
It says of power.
Of power, right? It's strength. Right. He gave you a strong spirit.
That's right.
Right.
And of love.
Of love. You know, the fruits of the spirits, they all connect to love.
They all connect to love.
Right. They all come together as a package. It's a combo. Right.
That's right.
Read.
And of a sound mind.
And then of a sound mind. You're supposed to know how to control yourself. Control that spirit. You're supposed to be humble. That's the kind of spirit the Most High gave us.
That's right.
Right. So if you have the spirit and fear in you, it didn't come from the Most High.
Bring it out.
Right. And who did it come from?
Bring it out.
Right. Who did it come from?
So like, I gotta on that last point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of a sound mind.
Mm-hmm.
You having a sound mind, you reading the scriptures and understanding that you ought to fear the Most High, knowing what He's been doing upon the earth, while you've been alive, and even way before you were alive, knowing that the Most High is called the Ancient of Days for a reason.
Right.
Knowing that the Most High is true to His word. A man may stumble and fall, but the Most High never will. Con. So if you have the understanding, knowing that there's nothing impossible for the Most High, and you put everything in His power, and you just give it all to the Most High, guess what? Your mind will be sound. You will have no problems. You will be worryless. Listen, even in situations that are dire, you'll be like, all right, oh Yahawah, please take over. And
right.
You'll just let it go, right? You'll give it to the Most High. You'll trust in Him like you should have the first time, right? Before you got into the truth. So with understanding that, our people need to really come back to the Most High and realize that you got to check off these things. These things have to be checked off the list.
Right.
If you're fearful, something's wrong. Right? If you don't have that much love within you, something's wrong.
Right.
If you don't got a sound mind, something is wrong. This is why it's very important to examine yourself daily to get better and better, because we're not perfect yet. We got to really look at ourselves each and every day and say, all right, I had a few problems yesterday. I'm going to try to work on that today, Most High willing. And that's why you got to be thankful for even being allowed to see another day, because you get to fix those past mistakes that you made. Because we make a mistake every single day, whether it's a slacking or we didn't read enough, we didn't pray enough, we didn't fast enough, we didn't reach out to enough brothers and sisters at times. Guess what? You got to put the Most High first and remembering to put your people first as well.
Right.
Go ahead, Slack.
Right. And a point on that, right? You also have to pray to the Most High for that type of spirit.
That's right.
Right. For that spirit. Because all that will come from the Most High.
Con.
Right. So you have to pray and then put in the work. Faith without works is dead. Faith and work, they come together. Put in this perspective, right? When you're praying for your spirit, a right spirit. Let me get Tobit chapter 12 verse 8. Right, Tobit chapter 12 verse 8. Right, you need to pray for this, and you also need to put in the work. Show the Most High that you're trying to change your spirit. Right. But whenever you have, you can read.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 12 and verse 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness.
Right. So when you praying, right, make sure you fasting, right? That prayer is good with fasting, right? With us,
with alms,
right? Giving to the poor when you giving, right?
And righteousness, keeping the commandments. Bring it out,
right? That's what prayer. That's what will ultimately make up your prayer.
That's right.
That's a big boost to your prayer. Right. So when you praying for this, you should try fasting. Afflict your souls. That's afflicting your soul. Right. Give alms. Right. You know why they say to not do it in public, but to do it in private.
It's like
that's showing a humble spirit. But I
was about to say, because just through the spirit, you gave me something to say. On that note, right? Like you just said, when you give alms, when you look at big YouTubers, what do? They'll show a homeless person, and they'll do what? They'll be like, I'm gonna give you some McDonald's food. I'm gonna buy you one night in a hotel. That way you have somewhere to sleep. Guess what? They don't get any type of blessings from the Most High. Their reward is what? Everybody being able to see them and applaud them. Like, you're such a good person. That's their reward on earth.
That's, in other words, that's being fake.
That's being fake. You're not getting anything from that.
Right.
What you wanted was recognition and people to see you.
Right.
This is why the Most High said, if you pray to Him in secrecy, right? You give alms in secrecy. You're not trying to get, any type of vainglory. The Most High will reward you how? Openly, before everyone. And He'll uplift you before everyone.
Right.
That's what you need to remember. This is why believing on the Most High and doing His will and understanding that the Most High hid Himself from us is extremely important. Because you got to seek Him out, do what He said to do, knowing that He's in secrecy. You got to pray to Him in secrecy. Right? Understanding that the Most High is true to His word. So you don't want any type of vainglory. You want to do the will of the Most High, knowing that all these things have to be checked off once again, right? Well, go ahead, Slack.
Yeah, you're supposed to have that humble spirit, right? Humble yourself before the Most High.
Calm.
Did you read all?
Verse 7? No, Slack.
No, that was just verse 8.
Verse 8. Oh, la. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness.
Right. Having a little with being righteous is better than much with unrighteousness.
That's right.
Right. Say I don't got no money, right? But I'm being righteous. Most High is gonna bless me.
That's right.
Right. You might not see it, but the Most High is gonna bless you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. right? Or he could bless you with, I don't know, remembering precepts. He'll bless you somehow, right? And he'll keep on adding to the blessing.
That's right.
Right? Those are spiritual things, right? But what's the second part?
It says, a little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold.
Right. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold, than to rack up your money. Right. It's better to give.
That's right. Than to receive.
Right. It's better to give than to receive.
That's right.
Right.
Christian church pulls that all the time. Wicked, man. Wicked.
Right. Right. Exactly. Right. Let me get Galatians 5:19. Galatians 5:19. Right. Going more into the flesh. Right.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 19. Now, the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these.
Right. So these are the work of the flesh, right? Tell me who that sound like. Go ahead.
Adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, and heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before.
Right. Stop right there, right? Who does all those sound like? The worldly people, right? People that don't walk through the spirit. Right? This is what happens when you don't walk through the spirit. Why? Because they don't mingle together. Right? You think you look at things in the flesh, in the carnal view, right? In the carnal mindset, right? Instead of a spiritual mindset.
That's right.
Right? That's why you see spiritual people, right? And I'm talking about the real spirit. I'm not talking about no people that focus on the universe and the sun and all.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about these type of people. But you see us and we different, like literally. Right? The children of the Most High, right? When we live in a spiritual way, or in a spiritual view, we're different. You can see it in us.
Bring it out.
Right? You know, we're all about peace. We're all about life. We're all about love, and etc. Right? You don't see that from them. All you see is drama, right? Violence, death,
envy,
jealousy, right? Baby mama drama, cheating,
all kinds of things.
Right? That's all the things you see, right?
Yeah. It says, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past.
Right. That's something the Most High always been telling us.
Always.
Right? What was it?
That they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
They shall not what?
Inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
They shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
Man. Oof.
Right?
So, let me just say one thing about Bahasham.
Right. Go ahead.
You look at Christianity.
I was just about to bring that out. Bro. What?
You look at Christianity, man. What are they doing? What are they doing? You got the pastor laying with his church member's wife.
When I tell you, they would do this 6 days out of the week, go to church on Sunday,
and it's just
right, and they good.
God forgave me for my sins on this day.
I can't wait till Jesus come back so we could get into the kingdom of heaven. Right, yeah, they going off.
Bring it out.
Right, that's bro. If you ask half of these people that's doing this, right, a murderer, what's your religion? I'm a Christian. That's what they're gonna tell you.
Bring it out.
That's exactly what they're gonna tell you, and I've seen that multiple times.
Through the spirit, man.
It'll come straight out of their mouth. Right? You know, but they're not spiritual.
Right.
You know, these Christianity, they're not spiritual, right? But Salaki, go ahead and say what you want to say.
I mean, look at the strife and wrath part, right? Seditions and heresies, witchcraft, idolatry. People are having these the zodiac signs. They'll say they're Christians. They'll say that,
right?
I mean, so many conversations with our people, and they'll tell you. We'll ask them. Oh no, Salaki. They'll ask you, "What's your zodiac sign?" We're like, "I don't adhere to that." Wait, why? And then you're like, I'm an Israelite. I read the Bible. Oh, I'm a Christian too, huh? First of all, I said I read the Bible. I didn't say I was a Christian. That's one thing. Number two, if you say that you're a Christian and I said that I read the Bible, then why you got that stuff on?
Right.
Why are you talking about a Scorpio or a Taurus or a Libra? You clearly don't put the Most High first. You put the astral realm first. No, not the astral realm. You put the universe first.
Right.
The sun, the moon, the stars, and all these different things. Everything got to line up, or it's not right, huh?
I've heard that come out of their mouth, right? Saying good happened, and they're like, man, it was the universe. The universe was with me.
444 7.
It was meant to happen. You know, it's the universe.
Bring it out.
Right? It was the sun. right? You know, I seen what are you to Illuminati? That YouTuber.
Con, bring that out.
Right? He going off. Right?
Con.
He's going off majorly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, he say he walked through the spirit. He focused on himself, but he not focused on the Most High.
Bring it out.
He focused more on the universe and the person who created the universe. Right? But then he claimed he believes in the Most High.
Bring it out.
You know, think that those are going off, right?
I mean, when you put everything over the Most High, right? You're saying that it's all. You're saying that you're a spiritual being, but who are you praying to? You're saying the universe is the one that decided everything. All right, who created the universe?
Right.
Who is the person who put the running blood through your body? Because the universe didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get your image from? The way that you look and your people look, the way that all these people on the earth look, having eyes, a nose, lips, ears, a tongue to taste.
Right.
Where do all these things come from? Doesn't even make sense for them to say that the universe did it. And this is one of the biggest faults of science. Where did they get that from? And they really indoctrinated so many people by sounding so quote unquote intelligent, but the scriptures make us sound way, way more convincing, right? Because we have the understanding from the Most High, the Heavenly Father who created us. So you gotta really have that spirit to do what? Seek out this understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Praying to the Most High for more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, like King Solomon did. And he was blessed above, man, that brother was so blessed on his earth. So we got to really look at our forefathers and look at the examples that the Most High really set for us, set for the nation of Israel. Right?
He said, get that one.
This one right here?
She said, I went to ask a so-called follower of Christ. So you celebrate the Passover like Christ?
We just read that earlier. How they went. That's crazy.
Right. Tell me how I was talking to a brother, Levi brother.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying him the same thing. Right, he talking about something. I'm a follower of Christ.
Oh,
right, I was talking to a brother. He was like, I'm a follower of Christ. Right, he's like, you know, I'm like, what does Christian mean? He said it means follower of Christ. But he's telling me that he not keeping the laws. So I'm like, okay, if that's the case, you know, he kept the laws, right? He was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so shouldn't you be following him since you're a follower of Christ?
Bring it out. What'd he say?
He was like, we're under grace.
That's his answer. We're under grace. He would say he's a Christian and the father of Hamashiach.
Right.
But then says, no, I don't have to. Run the grace.
Right.
What? That's clearly just the stumbling block that Christianity has on our people. And it's a stronghold on our people. Because that's just letting us know they don't seek out the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. They don't fear the Most High.
Right.
They go to Esau for any type of knowledge. Because you know they're the people with no understanding. They're the people that want us to continue to stay down. You go to the Most High or your own people who really do seek out this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and the Most High is dealing with them, you'll get more in just 50 minutes you ever had in the Christian church. Just 50 minutes. Precepts you never heard before. All the understanding is there. It's all rooted in the law, statutes, and commandments. That right there is life.
Hey, if you pay attention to your pastor preach, you're gonna hear them contradicting themselves many times.
Bro, it's just wow, man.
Many times they're gonna be contradicting themselves many times.
God
loves everybody. You know, there's, and remember that post I posted, right? And then this sister, I forgot how this whole thing went, but I'm going to, it's gonna be a long story, so let me just say it for another day.
Con.
But Con,
go ahead.
you could keep reading verse 22.
Verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
But the fruit of the Spirit. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love.
Right. So this is going to some of the fruits of the Spirit, right? Is love,
joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance.
Right. So if you look at these things, right, those are things you cannot see. You cannot see faith.
Bring it out.
Right.
Ooh, look at that.
You cannot see faith. You can see it through their action, but you can't be like, you can't see faith and be like, whoa, this is faith. Or whoa, this is love.
Bring it out.
Right. You can see it through their actions though. Right. So this is something we're supposed to be working on. Like I said, our people, if they can't see it, they don't care about it. Or if they can't see it, they don't believe it. Right. That's the problem. Right. But those things are better than the things you can see.
Just want to say something on that.
All right, go ahead.
Realize what he just said was so powerful. So powerful. Let's go back up to verse 19, just for a few of the examples that I'm about to bring out.
Right.
Adultery, fornication, uncleanness, and lasciviousness. All these things you can see.
Right. All these things.
You can catch somebody in act doing all these things, right? You can see these things, and you see how people lust after somebody that is clearly taken, right? But when you look at the fruits of the Spirit, it gives a different vibe when you see people have these different things, these attributes. Because what do you see? You see, when you look at love, for example, you see how you treat your brother and sister, because you want them to treat you the same exact way, right? What's another one?
So
peace. Oh my God.
By the way, right? You know, there's good spirits and there's bad spirits.
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's the point I was trying to say, right? There's good spirits and there's bad spirits.
That's right.
Right. You know, that's why you need to pray to the Most High, that He gives you the good spirit, and then you have to work on your spirit.
Gotta work
if
on
a brother start, I don't know, like just work on the fruits. Like for example, meekness, right? You know, you gotta be humble.
That's right.
Right, humble yourself. Try and pray to the Most High. Ask Him for you to be able to have that spirit of meekness. Right, then you pray for the spirit of long suffering, of goodness, of faith, of peace. You pray for these spirits, and then you work on it yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Right, because faith without works is dead.
Right.
But you could finish what you're saying.
No, you kind of hit it on the head with the last part. Right. Because when you look at all these attributes, right, the Heavenly Father has these attributes.
Right.
You know, long suffering towards the nation of Israel, knowing that we went completely off, temperance, right? The Most High is just, when you look at how the Most High gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, they were to make us more like Him. That's why we're supposed to be a set apart nation from these other nations, right? The heathen, their ideologies, listen, they do all kinds of things that are unseemly,
right?
Like eating food that clearly has blood on it. We're not supposed to eat those things. You read Leviticus, I believe it's chapter 16, which we did read in the Torah portion. Right. Right? And we're gonna break that down most High willing this coming Shabbat. It's Friday night class, because through the Spirit, there's so much to get into to cut up Christianity. Because if they're saying that we're allowed to do all these things because we're under grace or the law is done away with, why do they get mad when people do certain things like that?
Right.
When a man lies with their woman, etc. Why would you get mad if it's okay? Doesn't make any sense. The contradictions that he was talking about in the Christian church. So most I went through the Spirit, we'll go through that as well, you know. But anything else? My bad.
Yeah, I want to prove a point too. You get 1 Samuel 16 and 14. Yeah, 1 Samuel 16 and 14. I want to prove a point. Right.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16 and verse 14. But the Spirit of Yahawah departed from Saul.
Right. So the Spirit of the Most High, of Yahawah, departed from Saul.
And an evil spirit from the Most High troubled him.
Right. An evil spirit troubled him. So there's good spirits and there's evil spirits. If the Most High leads you, right, it's like an open door for the evil spirits.
Bring it out.
He's not with you.
Bring that
out. So the Most High, so you really have to do the will of the Most High. And this is why you should fear Him. Right. This is a good example, prime example of why you should fear the Most High. Right. So if the Spirit of the Most High is not with you, it's like welcoming evil spirits into you. Right. So you need to make sure you working on your spirits, right, and pray for good spirits from the Most High, that the Most High be with you and dwell in you, right? But Khan, I want to get this last one. You have something to say?
Wow, that was powerful. I mean, like you just said, it's like a gateway, you know, to these to the evil spirits that the Most High will send upon you. Because if His Spirit leaves you, you know, the Holy Spirit and wisdom is not going to dwell in a body that's doing what? That is subject unto sin. So if you really want to seek out the Most High diligently, you got to repent and realize that you got to read the scriptures, realize the sins that you committed, and repent of them. You won't know that you're sinning unless you seek it out. You got to read. You got to really want to really change your mindset, to change for the Most High Yahawah, in order for Him to bless you, to keep you, to shine His face upon you, like we always say in the prayers, right? But like, go ahead.
The last one is 1 Corinthians 3:16. Right? Because if the Most High is not dwelling in you, you know, then you in trouble. Right? And sometimes the Most High be dwelling in you, and you're still welcoming sin into you. Right? You still smoking, for example. Right? Messing up, like if the Most High is dwelling in you, why are you smoking?
Bring it out.
Right? If you want the Most High to be dwelling with you, then why are you smoking? Why are you inhaling this stuff in your body?
Destroying your temple.
Right? You're destroying your temple, right? Marie?
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High?
Right. So you are the temple of the Most High. Right? You are the temple. right? When we come together as a congregation, as a people,
that's right.
we become a church of the Most High.
Con.
Right? That's the church is not where people say what people say it is, right? You go to church and it's that temple that's built in here, nah, right? The temple of the Most High, we are the temple of the Most High.
Bring it out,
right? But read.
It says, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you.
Right. So the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Don't you know that the Spirit of the Most High dwells in you?
Con.
Right. You cannot scare that spirit. You cannot remove that spirit out of you, because the Most High is not going to stay in this in your he's not going to dwell in you if you're doing wickedness.
Bring it out.
Right. If you smoking or doing drugs or getting drunk, you messing up your temple. Why would the Most High want to stay there?
Bring it out.
Right. You don't want to stay in a dirty house. You wouldn't want to stay outside in the under a tree or something and live under there.
Bring it out.
Right. You got to take care of yourself.
That's right.
Right. The things you eat matter. Right. This is why you keep the laws, because it keeps you on track. The law will keep you straight. Right. Like I said, the law is spiritual.
That's right.
Right. You eating pork and stuff, that's unhealthy for your body.
Con.
Right. Then you eating crab, shrimp, lobster, that's unhealthy for your body. And you want the Most High to dwell with you, and you want the Most High to be with you, and then you're praying to the Most High.
Bring it out.
And then you continue sinning and living in a carnal mindset. That's going off.
Con.
Right. So you're supposed to take care of yourself, keep the commandments of the Most High. Right. You're supposed to walk through the Spirit, in the Spirit.
Con.
Right. We're not looking at things in the carnal version. Like I said, if I have a wife, I want her spirit to be right. Right? I'm not gonna go first thing off appearance and be like, dang, she bad. Well, let me go see. Let me try and get her number,
and then let that be his determinative, factor. Oh yeah, I want her. Doesn't matter. I want all the chaos.
Right.
Your flesh will tell you that. Your flesh will say, she's worth it. She's worth all the problems. She's worth all the trouble. She got all this. She got that. Everything checks out. No, right? It's the spirit that you got to also look at.
Now you just made me want to pull us in us. I remember.
Con, all praise. It's all through the Spirit.
Let me get Romans 7.
Con.
It was Romans 7.
Is that Romans 7?
Yeah, Romans chapter 7. You know what I'm talking about with Paul? Romans chapter 7, verse 21.
Oh, 21. Con. This is the book of Romans chapter 7, verse 21. I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me.
Right. So that's going to be happening, right? When you do good, evil is right there.
That's right.
Right. You will always see evil when you're doing good, when you're keeping the commandments, right?
Con.
Evil is calling on your name. Right? But read.
Verse 22. For I delight in the law of the Most High, after the inward man.
Right. So that's talking about keeping the actual laws. Right? But read.
Verse 23, which I believe is the point. But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members.
Which is what?
In my members.
So it's called the law. It's a law of sin. Right? That's what Paul is talking about.
Carnality.
Right? Carnality, right? He has that. It's always there. It would always be there.
Always.
Right? You'll be like, dang, it look good. Things will always look good in your eyes. Right? But you got to be strong in the spirit and control yourself.
That's right.
Right? That's why you got to work on your spirit. Right? You got to be able to conquer it. Conquer your flesh.
Get out.
Right? And be strong in the spirit. But you made me pull that out, baby.
If you're weak in the spirit, right, you fumble.
You fumble in the bag.
Fumble in the bag with the Most High, and the Most High takes that spirit away from you.
Right.
So you want to really strengthen that spirit, just like a plant, a house plant. You get a plant, guess what? You got to give it water. You got to make sure that it has sufficient sunlight, because without that, it starts to wither away and die. So, in like manner, your spirit also needs to be nourished. You can't be feeding your flesh, and your flesh just continues to go stronger and stronger. And in your mind, you're thinking that you're right. The whole time you're wrong, and the Most High puts you to death.
Right.
You got to live righteously. You have to really put the Most High first, and you have to strengthen that spirit by showing that sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your body for the Most High. And that's what we always talk about fasting. That shows the Most High a lot right there. Fasting 3 to 4 days. Man, Israel, sometimes they're like, that's impossible. I can't do that. But there's nothing impossible for the Most High, is there?
Right.
Nothing at all. If your mind is set on the Most High and doing His will, you will get through it. Con? That's right.
You ever done something so bad, like it's bad, but you did it, and it's like not sitting right with you, but it's like you have that guilty feeling in you. right? You know it's not good, but you did it anyways.
Yeah.
Right? That's you knowing that that's the flesh conquering the spirit, first of all.
Bring it out.
Right? That's the flesh conquering the spirit, and that's you knowing that you're in the wrong. Right? That you're supposed to be walking by the spirit, not by the flesh. Right? Things you see, carnality, like Ox said. Right? You're supposed to be walking through the spirit. You're supposed to be strong through the spirit. And how? Like you said, afflict your souls.
That's
fast. You also got to pray for it. Right? You're going to ask the Most High for the right spirit, for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right? For the fruits of the spirit, like love, faith, and peace, etc.
That's right.
Right? Then you're going to have to put in the work. Prove yourself to the Most High. Because, everything you do, you got to show yourself to the Most High.
Got to show yourself to the Most High.
It's not, you don't just pray for something and be like, you just sit back like, okay, well, I hope he gives it to me. If you're going to ask for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're supposed to be in the scriptures.
That's right. And he increases your understanding just by that alone.
Just by that. Right? It ain't going to be no, like, oh, okay, since you're an Israelite, I'm going to just give you a pass.
That's it.
Right. Even Abraham had to work. Right? Abraham had to prove himself.
That's right.
That's Abraham we're talking about. Right? Job had to prove himself. Many people had to prove themselves. It's not going to be a cakewalk. You actually have to put in the work.
That's right.
If you want your spirit to be right with the Most High, if you want the Most High to dwell in you. Right? But that's pretty much everything. And then,
you want me to finish this out?
You can finish it.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16, and I'm going to end off at verse 17. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? Verse 17. If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy. For the temple of the Most High is holy, which temple ye are. So remember, holy is something that is set apart. Holy is something that's specific for the Most High. If you're destroying your own temple, the Most High, guess what? He'll give you exactly what you want. You're destroying your temple, the Most High will make sure you succeed in destroying your temple. But if you want to build up your temple, guess what? The Most High will be on your side to build up your temple. Go ahead, Salaki.
But hey, I don't know how I was gonna skip over that, but
I had to get that. I had to get that verse. I had to get that verse out.
I'm glad you brought that out. But I forgot the thing again, the cash that thing.
It's cool.
But
go ahead.
Yeah, so this will be the cash app. That's pretty much everything. That's pretty much everything for the lesson, right? But the cash app for the LOZ Augusta, Georgia is the LOZ Augusta.
$sign in front.
Right. $sign in front. Always remember to put that $sign in front. Right, so it should be in the bottom. It says the LOZ Augusta. $sign the LOZ Augusta. If it's in your heart, if you're gonna go ahead and donate, it's our. Hey man, if I could ask for just a prayer, honestly, right, a prayer would be good enough, also. Right, whatever you feel like is best with your spirit, I'll accept. That's our praises, right? But with that being said, I'd like to give all praise to the Most High Yahawah and His only begotten Son Yahawashi. Till next time. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.